live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports. We hope that you guys are making it a good one. We know that we are as well. Huge show in store for you tonight. I don't get it. I seriously just don't get it. If you've missed it, it has been confirmed, and we have reached out to LSU as well. It has been confirmed that John Emery is suspended for the first two games of the LSU season. We will dive all into that. And Ruffino's Rant is coming because if you're the NCAA, how can a young man have that good of a GPA, get back on track to graduate, be in good standing with the university, be good standing with his head coach, be good standing with LSU football, but yet the NCAA makes up rules and they lied to John Emery, as we have found out here tonight, that they said that the regular season or the season of college football is 15 games. That is a stone cold lie. We will jump all off into that. Mark Emmert should resign right now. He shouldn't wait until next year. He should go get on his stupid yacht with his stupid hair and his stupid big ass pants that he wears. It looks like a damn parachute. He's a joke. He needs to get fired. They need to do everything they can to get Mark Emmert out because John Emery, the penalty does not meet the crime. Bottom line, dog. There's no bullshit behind this. Nothing. The penalty behind John Emery does not meet the crime. We will touch on that tonight, as it is complete and utter horseshit. It's like a man getting popped with a blunt and getting 25 years in prison for a small-ass little blunt. Makes no sense. Mark Emmert is single-handedly ruining college sports. Meanwhile, I know for a fact you have video on universities and teams breaking recruiting violations and you ain't done shit. You wait 4 years to penalize Will Wade and his joint bank account. Where's that? Where's that verdict? But yeah, you hit John Emery, a single man, not outside of social standards. I mean, as a team, a single individual player. 15 games when your bylaws direct, and I'm quoting here per the NCAA, that your college football season is only 13 games. Oh, we're diving into this tonight. I got time to be petty as hell. Mark Emmert should be fired, guys. We'll dive into that. John Emery is not without blame. He is not without blame. But how can a young man be suspended for a year and then some over academics when he's in good standing with the university? We'll touch on it. QB battle continues. We will talk on Scrimmage 3 yesterday as LSU teed it up and kicked it off. I talked to a couple of good buddies of mine today. We were in a Twitter group chat. I might say something that not a lot of you agree with, and you might tell me to calm down. Nevertheless, we'll break down Scrimmage 3 as both quarterbacks went completely off yesterday. Jane Daniels and Garrett Nussmeier, so we'll touch on that as well. So we'll get into and we'll do a hashtag Ask Blake. We will do a I don't know why this isn't Pooh Bear. For some reason, it's not letting me star comments. Does it let you star it on your side? If so, let me know. Yeah, I can't get to it. Nevertheless, we'll have to figure that out. That might be on our end. Okay, we will do Ruffino's Rants when we return or when we get out, but let's get to a couple comments before we do get started. Michael John says LSU should get him legal representation and go at the NCAA. They have already done that, and they did not. And apparently they are in an appeal process from what I've learned. I don't know if it's going to be overturned, but they got 2 weeks to the day to get it overturned. The NCAA's got egg on their face, man. This should be overturned. There's no and as King Ulysses says right here, 15 games since when? Exactly. The college football season has never been 15 games, ever. And it's not as if, and we'll get into it. I don't want to give all of it out at once. Juwan says he'll be back for Mississippi State. Sounds good. He should be back for Florida State. Robert says, does AYS Sports had a podcast? Yeah, we have a podcast. We're on it right now. Keaton says, only 2 games for Emery. I'm just glad it's not the entire season. Guys, he's already faced an entire season. This doesn't make any sense. This makes no sense. 0 cents. Stephen Fry says, crappy for JE, but ready to watch them Tigers. I am too. Aaron Hornsby says Jane Daniels is the next LSU quarterback. Well, we'll see. We'll break that down tonight too. Jared Hill says, can they appeal? Yes, Jared, they can, and they already are. They already are appealing it. So we'll see. I mean, again, this, and I see somebody, who is this? Asking about the playoffs. Mikey says, if John Emery was playing, would be our starter, Noah Cain, no matter what. No, he wouldn't be a starter. Noah Cain's been the starter. But this has nothing to do. I don't understand. I mean, let's just wait, and then we'll get into it. So let's do this. Let's pay these bills, and then we'll get started. None better than our good friends over at GM Varno & Sons and betonline.ag. Guys, do us a favor, though. Hit the like and share. Share to all of those social media groups. There's so many of you joining us live right now. If you're on Facebook, hit the like, hit the share to all those groups. Share to your own social media pages. I do check that now. We might be doing a giveaway very soon, so you better hit that like and share. And we're going to do for the next, 5 episodes. So whoever shares isn't going to be in the winning for maybe some merch and some cash. So do us a favor, hit the like and share those social media groups. If you're listening to us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and notification bell, all that good stuff. If you're listening to us on the audio podcast platform or XM radio or TuneIn, we greatly, greatly appreciate it. And so many of you have subscribed to our AYS message board, AYSSnetwork.com/forum. If you wanted to know all the John Emery stuff while it was going on, we were putting it live updates up in there. So go to the message board, AYSSnetwork.com/forum, and sign up today if you haven't done so already. Okay, let's get this thing started. We'll be right back. We got to talk about John Emery, and I'm going to give you a pretty big spring or scrimmage, or the third scrimmage update. So we'll get to that right after John Emery. But let's pay these bills, guys. We'll be back in 1 minute and 20 seconds. We got a lot to discuss. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way for you to wager on all of your favorite sports, contests, events with the first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews for all the news for each league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, college sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all of your sports information for live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head on over to BetOnline today and use your mobile device to join and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, that's BELIEVE50, BLEAV 50, to receive your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag, betonline.ag. With over 65 years of experience, nobody is better equipped to service in your vehicle than GM Varno & Sons. RV repair, big rig overhauls, motorhome chassis, routine maintenance, tire rotations, tire sales. No job is too big or too small over at GM. If you break down the side of the road in the greater Baton Rouge area, they will come and get you. And the best thing about that is that they can come and get you, and then they can bring your vehicle back to their shop and start the repairs right then. Again, GM Varno & Sons. Go see them over at 2500 Fuller Boulevard. Give them a call at 225-664-9992. 225-664-9992. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino sent you on by. All right, let's get this thing started, y'all. All right. So listen, we got a lot to get into, so we're not going to waste a lot of time. There's about 400 of you right now. We want 400 shares. Everybody stop, collaborate, and listen. Hit the like and share. If you share the next 5 episodes, we're going to be giving you 2 shirts and $100 cash. Okay, so we're doing a giveaway. So the next 5 episodes, tonight included, if you share every episode to any one of your social media pages, we're going to be checking it. We will buy you give you 2 AYS shirts and $100 cash. So everybody stop what you're doing. You better hit the like and share button right now. Okay. So if you missed it, and I don't know really how you have, but maybe you've been cutting the grass and maybe it's not raining at your house like it is mine. John Emery, per Brody Miller, has been suspended or is suspended for the first 2 games of LSU's season, which is Florida State and Southern. Well, guys, nothing's new. There's no new penalty. There's no new infraction. There's nothing new with John Emery. This all stems from a season ago. And there's a very bad misconception. Very bad misconception that John Emery failed a class a season ago, and that's why he was ineligible. It's not true. He had dropped a class that made him a part-time student and not a full-time student, and the NCAA popped him for it. LSU self-reported it, which, first and foremost, John should have known better. Just because you don't know the rules, or maybe you don't know the rules, doesn't mean that you're not in the wrong. You got to know rules when it comes to academics, and you're playing for a university. However, I call them kids, but kids will be kids. Guys, at that point, he's a 20-year-old kid. He couldn't even legally drink yet. We've all made mistakes. We continue to make mistakes. LSU should have caught it. When LSU found out that he had dropped the class, they should have been on top of knowing that he wasn't a full-time student. So, as much as I'm about to rant and rave and call for Mark Emmert's head, the NCAA, whoever is involved in any of this, let me say that they're not without fault. Because they are. Ed Orgeron should have known. The academic advisors on their campus should have known. Everybody should have known. I understand that, John was going through some hard times, and guys, we've all been there. However, it's time for this and time to put this to an end. Now, King Ulysses, and I'm going to read this one comment before we go on this rant. Says the NCAA, the kid already missed a full season, did everything asked of him. What's the lesson learned with 2 extra games? I guess it's related to the leap year, LOL. Make up penalties for infractions. I don't understand, and I understand that LSU screwed up and John screwed up. Guys, he's going to miss 15 straight games for LSU. 15 straight games. A person who is an academic standards or good standards with the university. So if you don't know this, and we found this out when we talked to people around LSU, John Emery is in good standing with the university. Brian Kelly yesterday said that John Emery has done everything that I've asked for him to do. He is fine with me. So you mean to tell me that the young man didn't fail a class, that he was just so happened to be a part-time student during COVID? You suspend him for an entire year. By the way, what is an entire year technically from the NCAA? Now, the NCAA in their bylaws, which it took me 2 hours to find, in their bylaws, it says that a full, and I'm quoting, and this was an amendment that was changed in 2006. Since changed in 2006, the 12-game regular season is what the NCAA considers a full season. So how is it that you suspend John Emery for a full season, and in your bylaws it's 12 games, but now you're pushing it to 15? Make that make sense. I'm old enough to remember when the University of North Carolina, the Tar Heels, legitimately made up classes so that student athletes could pass and be academically eligible. Did LSU do that? No. Did John Emery do that? No. Oh, so you mean literally an honor roll student and a guy that per mic'd up, and I trust Mikey Matuk in that gang, per mic'd up has a 3.8 GPA average. Good staying with the university, and Brian Kelly is still suspended. Guys, you got to make it make sense to me. This makes zero sense. 0 cents whatsoever. We need to start raising hell, man. We need to start raising hell because this young man needs LSU and needs people. He needs everyone. Hashtag free John. At the end of the show, go to Twitter, go to Facebook, hashtag free John Emery. Because the penalty doesn't meet the crime. The penalty that John Emery is facing at this current moment, that he faced all of last season, that he faces in the beginning of this season, does not meet the crime. This is why the NCAA has allowed college football and college athletics to go down in some aspects, not all, but some aspects. They have let this continue to roll around the toilet bowl, and it's all due because of Mark Emmert's incompetence, lack of leadership, and quite honestly, not knowing what the hell's going on. He doesn't have the balls to go out there and be a leader. Grow a pair, dog. You're resigning. You're retired. You probably got 9, 10, 20 million, whatever it is, in your 401k pension plan. Whatever it is, leave. We don't need you. We don't need you. You have consistently been a thorn in all of college sports side. So what? You hired Nick Saban. Congratulations. So did Alabama. So did Michigan State. So did Bill Belichick. Congratulations. You did something good for LSU. If this is an NCAA thing, shame on him. This isn't cheating. Dropping a class when during a COVID year and you're allowing people to transfer to God knows where. To God knows where. You mean to tell me that everybody that's transferring to these schools is academically eligible? How is Eric Gilbert academically eligible? How does Eric Gilbert become eligible when he leaves LSU, commits to Florida at a Dollar Tree, and then goes to the University of Georgia? How is he eligible? But yet you're suspending John Emery, who, guys, all last season, did nothing wrong other than the small thing. You know, I'm old enough to remember this one too. I'm old enough to remember when John Emery showed up to practice every day and didn't say a damn word. Ran scout team and didn't say a word. Was there for his teammates, never said a word. So you're penalizing a kid that's done everything right, yet you'll just pass over everything else. You'll pass everything else up. Guys, someone has got to make this make sense to me because I'm at a loss for words. I have no idea what to, guys, you know, so just to give you a behind the scenes look, all day I'm doing notes for the show. Guys, you can ask my wife. Ben probably can't tell you what was going on. I'm sitting there typing in notes that sit literally right here. And during the break, I put them down. Guys, it's empty. What do I say to this? What is there to say? What is there to say? Now, Michael King says, hashtag in a Dollar Tree, I'm dying. Michael, I'm not making that up. He tagged himself. Eric Gilbert tagged himself on Twitter when he committed to Florida, and it said at a Dollar Tree on the bottom at his location. I don't get it. I don't get it. Pooh Bear, if you have a second, can you do us a favor and start starring some of these comments so we can get to as many of them as we can? But regardless, you allow Eric Gilbert to be eligible and not John Emery. Two completely different scenarios, two completely different things. I get it. Go to Twitter. Go to Facebook. Hashtag free John Emery. Tag the NCAA in it. You better pray to God. The NCAA better pray to God John Emery doesn't graduate this year. Because, guys, they come down. What's funny about the NCAA is they come down on the stupidest shit ever, right? We have a video about a month ago of a Texas A&M coach. Now, I don't remember his name, but it went viral on Twitter and Facebook. And on a recruiting visit, this A&M coach talked about how boosters are paying them to come here. And yet, I have yet to see anything happen to Texas A&M, nor that coach, nor even a statement released. There's not even a statement released about we knowing that is against NCAA rule. John Emery's got 15 games. This is one of those situations where, and again, John is not completely innocent here. Anyone that will tell you that John's completely innocent is lying. You got to know. The administration's got it. The worst of this all is LSU and Orgeron. Some of these old people that love Ed Orgeron, and I get it. Y'all love O. I understand it. Guys, this is complete incompetence at the highest of levels. I remember when LeBron James, I know a lot of you hate LeBron. I get it. I remember when LeBron James sat down with Stephen A. Smith and said he was taking his talents to South Beach, and you killed him for it. You killed him for it. Nevertheless, that he was a 23-year-old man who was the face of the NBA, and you're dictating a 23-year-old to make and say the right things, right decisions, and you kill him for it. I dare anybody, because this camera that we use, this system we use, it's not that expensive. Go out there and see if you don't say something completely foolish and stupid. I do it all the time. We are going to make mistakes, but it makes zero sense to me. Boo, Boo, I don't know how to say your last name. I'm not even going to try, but he says, Crybaby James. Sounds good. You also made him the face of athletics and sports in all of the world to some extent. And you're killing him because he's a 23-year-old man? Guys, 23-year-olds make mistakes all the time. You're probably 40 or 50 years old. You make mistakes too. Ray Poniff, what's up, Ray? On YouTube says, hashtag ask Blake, do you need some of my blood pressure medication? Nope. Don't stroke out on this. Hold on. My, I don't know how to, let me see. My heart rate is 83 or 84. Just because I'm yelling doesn't mean I'm fine, dog. Aaron Davis says, bet if he wasn't at LSU, he wouldn't be ineligible. Hard to say at this point, right? Like it's hard to stop making that argument. Doug Ray says, has Gilbert even completed a full semester of school yet? I don't know that. I don't know that. But Nevertheless, he was immediately eligible through the NCAA, and John Emery wasn't. And again, I would understand if he was failing. And look, we haven't talked about Darius Jones, the DB. He's also suspended for the 2022 season. And I understand it. That situation's not the same here. It's not the same. But yeah. Roger Dugas says, facts, Blake, some classes don't transfer over. So again, tell me how. No, they don't transfer over. No, they don't transfer over. Rick Kelly says, wasn't Emery dealing with a sick grandmother also? Yeah. But they don't, again, guys, they don't care. They don't care. Al Landry says, let's blow up this mofo up, fam. Hashtag free John Emery. Yeah, go to Twitter. Hashtag free John Emery. And put at the end of it, put hashtag AYS on that son of a bitch. Because Mark Emmert, dog, it's got to be on site at this point, guys. It's got to be on site. Michael King says, mine's higher than just hearing the news. Yeah. That's pretty funny, though. Country Granger says, so he dropped the class in 2020 and didn't sign up for another one, so he's getting suspended. I think it was 2021, but yeah, that's pretty much the concept. That's pretty much the concept. It has, and we could spin our wheels, right? Like, we can spin our wheels all we want. All we want, and we can continue to talk about this, but at this point, guys, I have nothing else to say on it. He's going to be suspended. He's doing an appeal. Let's see what the appeal does. But I promise you this, Mark, we have to come up with some situation and some scenario that the NCAA can't be the judge, jury, executioner. We don't do, when someone gets arrested in this country, gets sued in this country, there is a panel or what we would call a jury of either 6, 8, 12 of your peers that comes up with a conclusion if you're innocent or guilty. Are we legitimately going to make Mark Emmert, and even if he's not technically overseeing the case, are we going to make him and his office the judge, jury, and executioner on everything that goes on in college athletics? They don't have any legal saying in reference to NIL. This has nothing to do with NIL. This has everything to do when Mark Emmert gets off of work and Saturday mornings when he goes and plays golf with the boys and they're sitting out there drinking their $500 glass scotch and they're playing golf and they're like, ha, ha, ha. Rick, did you see what I did to that kid, John Emery? F you. You don't come where majority of people come from. All right. So let's do this. We still got to get to the third scrimmage. We haven't even, guys, this happens every week. Every single stupid week. We have bullet points, things we want to talk about, and something stupid comes out. Here's a quick solution. You ready for the solution? Here's the solution. I'll end this with the John Emery thing. If the kid is right standing with the university, if he's in right standing with the university, he should be eligible. Should be eligible. They have stricter rules than you do. And when is the NCAA? Who gave the NCAA authority over? So you don't have authority for NIL because it's state laws, but you have authority over academics. That's also state policy and law. You can't have it both ways. You bourbon drinking asshole. I love bourbon. Just going to say that. I'm also a bourbon drinking asshole my damn self. Let's get to the break. We got to break down this scrimmage 3. I will be much more calm. Much more calm on this one. So let's get into that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Scrimmage 3, things that happened, things that are good, things that need to be worked on, a lot of the same. But let's take this quick break. We'll be back in 1 minute. Let's talk about our good friends over at Gramco, thegramco.com. Guys, we will be back in 1 minute. We got a lot to talk about with this scrimmage. QB battle, I have no idea who's winning it. Guys, I've got to talk to you about our good friends over at Gramco. They are the Delta 8 company based out of the state of Florida. They're founded by college football junkies just like you and I am not sure if you're familiar with Delta 8, but you need to be. Gramco is the absolute leader in this field, and they have phenomenal products that I just need to tell you about. First off is the Wake and Bake coffee that is absolutely spectacular. The gummies are as well, as they're the best in the market. So go to thegramco.com right now and use the promo code AYS25. That's thegramco.com, AYS25 promo code to get 25% off of your order. Jump on this fast as it is perfect for holidays, anniversaries, and everyday use. Gramco is hemp-derived and completely legal inside of the state of Louisiana. No medical card is needed, and shipping is very discreet. You must be 21 years older to order. Again, that's thegramco.com. Use that promo code AYS25. All right, so let's talk about the scrimmage. If you missed it, LSU did hold a scrimmage this past Saturday in Tiger Stadium, so we'll be breaking a lot of that down. I'm going to get to a couple of quick comments before we get in here. Harry P asked about the Jaylen Brown interview. I did see it. Doug Snow says, I'd trot him out there and let the NCAA follow suit. In 10 years, they might have to vacate 2 wins. Well, they'd have to vacate a national title if they win it too. So, no, I wouldn't do that. Noah Long says, Blake just described Mark Emmert as Shooter McGavin. It's very true. Noah, that's a very Noah, round of applause. Very good observation. Very, very, very good observation. I like that a lot. Travis Dyson, who is always in the Twitter spaces saying some very outlandish things. What's up, Travis? He says, let's hear it. And Dilly Sanders says, what's up, Blake? Over from Go247. What's up, Dilly? So listen, LSU had a scrimmage yesterday, and it was a lot of the same stuff. Offense had a really big day, man. And as they continue to have a really big day, of 6 drives, 4 touchdowns with the 1s and the 2s between Jay Daniels and Garrett Nussmeier. 2 of them being field goals. 1 of them with the second team. Jay Daniels should not have had to settle for a field goal as 2 passes were dropped in the end zone by the wide receivers. Let me say this because a lot of people are continuing to monitor this quarterback battle. And I think, guys, we're making too much of this in this extent. Guys, I think we got really 2 good quarterbacks. 2 really good quarterbacks who have done a lot of really good things this fall. I've gotten to the point, and I've continued to say this. If Jayden Daniels runs out there first, guys, I'm kind of okay with it because I don't know where the narrative continues to come. Actually, I do know where the narrative's coming from. It's a guy that doesn't even have 1,500 followers on Twitter and whatever, I don't know what he is. He's not at practice. I don't know where people are coming up where Jayden Daniels is missing throws during camp. Please show me. Does he miss 1, 2, 3, or 4 of them during camp? Sure. So does Garrett. So don't act like Jayden Daniels is missing passes and Garrett isn't. These 2 guys are battling it out. And if everything is equal, my question would be, does Brian Kelly run Jayden Daniels out there first because of experience? I don't know that. I will be very candid. I will tell you things that I know and don't know. One thing I don't know is that I don't know if he's going to go with experience or if he's going to go with a younger guy that shows a lot of promise. What I will tell you, and as Brian Kelly alluded to, we're about to name a starter very quickly. I have been very consistent with this And I'm going to change my tune now. They know who it is. They 1,000% know who the starting quarterback is going to be. You don't make a statement like that in the press conference that we're about to name a starter and do it very quickly if you don't know. Something had to have happened. Something had to have happened in the scrimmage or yesterday for Brian Kelly to ultimately say, you know what? It's time. It's time. Jane Daniels, Garrett Nussmeier, and both offenses dominated the day. They dominated the last scrimmage. And here's another thing, guys. I don't think that they dominated the first one. They sure as shit didn't lose it, though, either. My problem is, and something that I talked about with a lot of group of buddies of mine, Pooh Bear, who's our producer, one of his co-hosts, Aunt Marshall, I think that their show, and Pooh can put in the comments, I think it's at 7:30, the Golden Boot Pod. Guys, I'm starting to be a little bit worried about this defense. I'm starting to get a little bit worried about this defense because of the 3 scrimmages that we've seen in live action, and it's not as if LSU's not defensively, he's not doing a lot of things. They're sending blitzes. They're trying to get to Jane Daniels. Obviously, they're not trying to hit him or Garrett Nussmeier. I have kind of got to the point where I'm getting a little nervous. When is the defense dominated the day? Because we haven't seen those practices yet. Now, I do trust Brian Kelly because it's coming from multiple coaches I've talked to, multiple players that I've talked to, that prior to this week, the defense won last week. If that's the case, then I'm okay with it. But we do have a scrimmage. We do have a scrimmage this Tuesday. I want to see a little bit more dominance from the defense. Am I worried about it? Not at the current moment. But I do think, guys, that there does come a point where if you are losing this much during fall camp, does that translate anything at all to the regular season? I don't know. But I am a little, I don't even know if worried is the good word, right? Like, I don't know if worried is the good word because maybe I'm cautious. Pooh Bear, would cautious be a good word? Maybe. Maybe I'm just a little bit cautious because every time I go out there, they're not winning these reps. Either the D-line can't catch Jane Daniels, there's a breakdown in coverage. Malik Neighbors just seems to be like, both quarterback. You know what's funny? Both quarterbacks are pretty much just saying, shit, Kayshawn Booty and Malik Neighbors is out there somewhere. I'm just going to throw it in their general direction. Hey, man, you can't blame them. You can't blame them. The defense could come out game 1, drive 1, and completely prove me wrong. They could prove me wrong Tuesday. I think that we'll be there at 4:25 on Tuesday. So, let's see. Mason Taylor. Guys, Mason Taylor's going to play a lot. The true freshman from Florida. He's wide open. And I know LSU released some of this. Guys, Jane Daniels and Garrett Nussmeier are constantly finding the end zone. So of the last 2 scrimmages, we have 12 total drives, 8 total touchdowns. 4 settled in field goal, at minimum, field goal attempts. Let me say that again. Of the last 12 drives that we've seen, 8 have resulted in touchdowns, 4 in field goal attempts. There was a 13th one at the end of at the end of one scrimmage that was a 3-and-out, but there was 2 drops consistent with that and a run by Noah Kane that went for 4 yards. I don't know how to take this mentally. Right now, again, let me say this again before you clip this and put it on Twitter like y'all always do. I could be totally wrong here. And maybe it's just that this is something that the defense has never seen and something new that Mike Denbrock and the offense is running. They don't know how to cover it. That can completely be the thing. But there shouldn't be this big of a lapse in pass rush. They're sending blitzes. We've seen the footage of Micah Baskerville sacking Miles Brennan before he retired from the planet Earth. We have seen Mike Jones Jr. come on multiple blitzes and almost get home, but both quarterbacks are getting the ball out in time. I'm cautious. Whether it's good or bad, and look, there's not. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm completely wrong. The offensive line changed up yesterday where Cam Wire was at right tackle, Anthony Bradford was at right guard. Guys, they have a crap load. This offensive line is really talented. Garrett Dellinger. Oh, Pooh Bear. By the way, Pooh, I don't know if you heard, but last week there was a 6'3", 294-pound man, me, who said, don't worry about Garrett Dellinger's snaps. Huh. Brian Kelly said he didn't have a bad one this week. Huh. Everybody worried about center. There's nothing to worry about. If he was missing protection calls, guys, it's a position I've played for 6 years. If he's missing protection calls, all right, we got an issue. If he's getting beat physically, okay, we have an issue. Snapping the football when you've only played that position for 2 weeks, I'm not worried about. Not right now. And especially when Brian Kelly comes back out there and says he was flawless. You had a pretty dominant day from the offensive line. I still think they need to run the ball a little bit more consistently. I think Noah Cain ran the ball hard. And he's going to be, obviously, with John Emery being suspended, he's going to be your first running back. As of now, you got to get Amari Goodwin up to speed. You got to get Noah Cain up to speed. You got to pray to God that Josh Williams in the first 2 weeks has games of his life if John Emery is absent. And you got to go with it. Here's another thing. And why I think if a starter is named this week, it could be Jaden Daniels, at least the way that I'm leaning. If you don't have a consistent running game, you're going to have the quarterback with the most experience back there who knows what he's doing. Both quarterbacks are going to play. I don't think it really matters who runs out there first for Florida State. I don't really think, and I know it will be a big deal, I really don't think it matters who Brian Kelly names. Because unless one of the two young men goes out there and dominates drive one and scores to where there's a chance where you can't take him out, both guys are going to play, and I think both guys are going to play a lot. I think it's going to, at this current moment, I still think it's Jaden Daniels due to experience because, guys, they're dead even, in my opinion. They're dead even, in my opinion. I got to give Garrett Nussmeier this. He's come a long way. He's come a long way. Now, could some of that be because the offensive line is doing a lot better? Yes. But there has still been times where when we're out there watching the scrimmage, when Garrett Nussmeier is under pressure, he puts the ball up into the air and to coverage that is more than likely going to get intercepted and has been intercepted and either been batted down and is a really, really bad pass. That is what, when you have the perplexity of turning the ball over and the other guy isn't, guys, I have not seen yet Jaden Daniels throw a pick. I haven't seen it. Does that mean he has? Sure. I'm sure he has. You got to limit turnovers. But we're 2 weeks away. And, guys, we're less than a week away from watching the team that will play first in Florida State. Guys, Florida State plays next Saturday. College football is here. It's here. Yeah! You got to love it. You got to love it. Defensively, I still think the back end needs to do some things a little bit better, right? I still believe that, you can't have Malik Neighbors constantly getting open. Oh. Jack Besh is back. Okay. All right. Hey, dog, Jack Besh, this is what – hey, man, Jack Besh came out with a vengeance. I think Jack Besh is pissed. I think Jack Besh is ready to roll. They have a lot of weapons. They have a lot of weapons. I don't know how they're going to utilize all of them. I have no idea. Jack Besh had a big day, and he was very physical. He did not want to get tackled. He was pointing at dudes, running down the sidelines, saying, "Come hit me, please," and people were kind of shying away a little bit. I don't know how they're going to utilize him. I'm really interested for Tuesday in this last scrimmage. I think it's the last scrimmage Tuesday. I want to see how they're utilizing Jack Besh more. But I think Tuesday night, here's my assumption. As Brian Kelly alluded to yesterday in his press conference, when he mentioned that they're going to be naming a starting quarterback, here's my hunch. If Jane Daniels has a big day, they're going to name him. Let's get over the defensive side, and then we'll start filling a lot of these questions. I don't think that here's what I think is going on with the defense. Number one, I think that they're going up against stuff that they haven't seen, so they don't know where to be. Number two, I think that on the defensive line, although they're having flashes, they're not consistent enough. The one good thing that this defense has done, guys, we have not been able to run the football. Outside of Jane Daniels running the football, we do not have a running game. As of what we've seen so far, Noah Cain is starting to pick it up, and he's had some good days, but Jaden has been your running game. They got to be more consistent in what it is that Matt House wants them to accomplish. You got to stay in your gaps. You can't play the ball that Ed Orgeron wanted you to do a season ago, where it's attack and destroy. That's not going to work in this defense. You got playmakers that are out there, sure, but you have to be able to stay in your lane, know where you're going, because if you do that, you're going to make a lot of plays. I think Mason Smith continues, though, if there is a very big bright spot, Mason Smith continues to absolutely destroy people over and over and over again. But I do have to give the interior O-line credit along with Brad Davis. Guys, this was the biggest, I said this, and I was wrong here. I was wrong in saying this. Maybe not wrong, but they proved me wrong. I was worried about the O-line. Guys, they're doing a really damn good job. They're doing a pretty damn good job so far. I think we'll be fine defensively, but like I said, I'm just being very cautious. Okay. Let's get to a couple comments, and then we'll start wrapping up the show. If you have a question, any question about what's going on in the scrimmage, John Emery, whatever it may be, fire them in there right now. I will promise not to. I've been trying to look for a way to use the Leon Edwards reference from last night. If you didn't watch UFC 279, when Leon Edwards absolutely sent Kamaru Usman into the shadow realm, I think I'm a Leon Edwards fan. I like people who speak British. Hello, mate. He kicked the shit out that dude in the head, man. Pause. But he sent that man, finish him. That was the most Mortal Kombat thing I've ever seen in my life. Holy moly. Okay. Side says Gilbert is eligible, just like how 4-star upgrade to 5-star committing to UGA and Bama. Hashtag biased. Could see it. I can see it. Jason Brumfield says also tag Dollar Store as your location, because apparently that keeps you eligible. It was Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is what kept him eligible. Keaton says, "Man, Blake is starting to sound like Moscona with the Coach O hate." Okay. Keaton, then you please tell me what's going on. And by the way, put on a shirt. Nobody wants to see that. Put on a shirt. He had a starting running back get ineligible because of academics. And not because of just him failing classes, because he accidentally dropped a class. Guys, it's hating. Facts aren't hating. You know what, Keaton? I guess you're okay with going 11 and 12. Good for you. Then you better go be a Vandy fan because they don't win shit. I'm not reading this guy's comment, not with that name. He can move on. Trey says, "Dude, move on." Somehow we starred this one. Well, you can move on. You don't have to watch. Noah Long said, oh, yeah, we got to that one. Bear Granger says, "I think either QB can win." Either one of them can win. There's not a doubt whatsoever. Father A. Bear says, "I feel like if the QBs are at a deadlock 50-50, it's got to be really hard not to send the QB out there with 30 starts under gun." Love both of them, though. I agree with Father. And first off, I'm not going to disagree with Father A. Bear. But secondly, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. If it is 50-50, you got to give Jaden the nod. But again, I still think both of them are going to play. And I think both of them are going to play a lot. Barring that some of them, barring that either one of them don't go out there and dominate Florida State early. I think that would be the only way that they don't. Aaron Davis says he has done everything that he is asked to do. The NCAA is just being petty, talking about John Emery. No question about that. There's no question whatsoever about that. Aaron Adams Jr. says, came down from Columbus, Georgia for our anniversary to New Orleans, came back to Baton Rouge, Blake, and the Blue Store chicken was fire. That Blue Store chicken, though. Pooh Bear says funeral store chicken is the best chicken. He hadn't seen Miss Anita at the Blue Store right there off of Government on shrimp fried rice Tuesdays. Pooh Bear, booyah, boom shakalaka. I don't know. I'm trying to make my man smile over here, man. It ain't funeral. It's better than funeral chicken. I tell you what it's not better than, though. It's not better than funeral fish. All right, I got to tell you something. If you missed the last episode, go to the very end of the episode. We had somebody comment into the show and tell me that I should shave my head if LSU beats Bama, because some listeners want me to shave my beard if we beat Bama, which I will do. And she had a picture of a cat. Her name was Kim. And I told her I would shave my head if she shaved her cat that was in her profile picture. That didn't go over very well, as I was tattooed with hold on, let me pull this up very quickly. Y'all bear with me, because I want to give the exact number. I was hit with, Pooh Bear, how many DMs do you think that I got sent Thursday night? 164 of them. I got sent 164 DMs about the stupid little kitty cat. Pooh Bear says, Blake said, shave your cat. SEC has reached out and would like a word. Actually, they did. The FCC did reach out. I did get a pretty dirty email. Not as dirty as shaving your cat, though. 164 DMs, Pooh? 164? Do I deserve that? It was a legendary night, says Delton, though. That's very true. Lee said, dude said funeral fish. There ain't nothing better than the golden crispy funeral fish. Aunt Petty Marshall's being petty again. Is it better than a piece of spaghetti? I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. And also says, Blake, you gonna bring back TJ, who covers Florida State on September the 4th? I am. He's actually coming on to the show Wednesday. We'll have him back-to-back weeks, preparing for Florida State. I see TJ. You know, y'all let it rip in the comments, man. That's what we're here for. TJ's been a little petty. TJ's being a little petty. Safeguardyoursoul.com says yes. You don't have to be lonely at farmersonly.com. What a hell of a site. Jawan says, I trust Jaden with his decision making. Yeah, look, man, Jaden is not as bad as some people make him out to be throwing the football. He's just not. He's just not. Guys, he's done so well throwing the ball this offseason. I don't care about the spring. I don't care that he's missing open passes to a receiver he doesn't know the name to in a brand new system, in a brand new university, when he probably doesn't even know his roommates' names yet. Come on, man. That's not. Come on. Blaine Smith says you got beshed. Yeah, look. He was out there killing dudes yesterday. Abby says, yeah, you got me fired up. Flex emoji. Flex emoji. Travis says, my bad, y'all. It's spell check. Oh, man. I ain't ever going to hit somebody with no spell check. They be out here trying to kill people. Blaine Smith, the starter will be named by Wednesday. They're going to install a game plan for the rest of the way. I think I don't disagree with Blaine here. I think it coming as early as Tuesday. I don't disagree with him. I think it's a good point. Devin says the freakazoid named Mason Smith. That dude is just such an animal, man. He's having severe flashes of pure dominance. I want to see more from this defense, though, man. You can't, guys, again, I could be completely wrong, and I hope that I'm wrong. Let me make, and I probably need to clip this so people don't freak out. Guys, 12 drives and you give up 8 touchdowns is not good. I don't care I don't care if new things are being installed and then you're seeing it from the first time. Guys, that's not good. That's not good defense. Say whatever you want to. That's not good. There's something there. They got to fix it. Here's the good thing. They got a lot of time to do it. 2 weeks is a hell of a lot of time to do it. Travis says, I'm ready to hear neck being played. Ba-da-da-da. Hey, yo. Can y'all hear Ben? Hey, yo. I said, hey, yo. My son Ben screamed, hey, yo. First off, he got his first haircut this weekend. He went from looking like Kyle Turley to Drew Brees very quickly. Very quickly. Ben, are you still in your chair? Okay. Well, if he wasn't in his chair, I was going to make him come in here and let y'all see his new haircut. My boy Ben, he be wild out here in these people streets. And he sticks up for Pooh Bear more than he does his own daddy. But he be dry snitching on Pooh Bear, though. Ooh, but Daddy, Pooh Bear went and got Five Guys the other day. And then he went and got a hamburger, too. All right. All right. Pooh Bear came to the show one time and got Five Guys. All right. I'm gonna regret every single second of this. I should have never opened my big mouth. Pause. I shouldn't have said nothing. I done kicked the hornet's nest, y'all. Pooh says, Ben, keep it 10 toes down. He never be snitching. True. I was just messing with Pooh Bear. Okay, couple more and we're going to get on out of here. Devin says, extra bacon, extra pepper jack cheese, onions, and jalapenos. You got to feed the machine. Very true. Very, very true. He says, teach him young. Yeah, that we do. Okay, Pooh Bear, 7:30 tonight, correct? All right, so Pooh Bear and his crew will be doing their show live at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Go check them out at the Golden Boot Pod. Shout out to John Emery, hashtag free John. We will see you guys tomorrow. Big show on Tuesday as we'll be having, I think, what I believe is the last scrimmage, and we could be having the quarterback name. So big week for the Tigers, guys. We're 2 weeks away, literally 2 weeks away from today for LSU kicking it off. 1 week, less than 1 week of college football being back is a very exciting time. But until then, guys, we'll see you all soon. Y'all have a good night. Peace out, Girl Scouts.